Hello, hello. This is just going to be a quick overview of how to get the Blender files and stuff to work with skins. So, Asset Studio GUI, which should be in the guide document. Load file, go to wherever your game is. You have to find it. Let's see. There we go. Steam up common, restrain to data, streaming assets, standalone Windows 64. And here we're just gonna search for commando in our case. And it's gonna be one of those base ones for commando because he's from the base game. We kind of have to just guess which one. I'm just gonna click the first one and see. And we're lucky, here it is. MDL Commando Dualis. Let's see. Here we can preview the mesh. There we go. This looks like the guy. So we're gonna click this one to get both of those. First check export options and make sure that all nodes cast to bones is checked. Model export selected objects and split. There we go. And now we're just going to put it somewhere. Luckily I have there we go, commando. And that should be it. It's now exported into its file here. So we go into go into Blender, delete file, import FBX. And now we're gonna find it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, object. Import that. Now you can see nothing. I think it is, yeah, it's down here, super tiny. So with that selected, we go to scripting, and then I personally use the Moi version because that works with Blender 5.0. So here's also the render indexes, by the way, for later, commando body. Blender to 5.x, and then we go commando.py, here's the script, click the little copy raw file, now it's been copied. New script in the scripting tab here, just paste it in, run it, and now you can see our commando is in a normal size. You can double check this by y 1.95 meters, that makes sense. So now that we have the armature here, we got the bones, we got the mesh, so we can, for example, look at the weight painting if you want to, how that looks. Where's the pelvis? There's the pelvis. So this is good to look at when you weight paint later. And the weapons are probably gonna be fucked somehow. I still struggle with getting the weapons to work as they should. Let's see, gun mesh. Yeah, it has no vertex groups, for example. So I think you have to... Hello? Okay. You might have to join them and then unjoin them perhaps. I can't quite remember how to do this. No. This is something that's apparently difficult in general. I've never done a commando skin before, so I do not quite know. We're here at the model. Let's just make a quick new one.
Hey, I'm in the illegal gambling hall playing mahjong. Fuck a bunny girl, I'm trying to get my money long. I don't even know how to play this shit. I give no fucks though, I'ma still run this shit. These bastards got chopped fingers. One of them got mad, they said, "Katuri shiro!" He pulled out the katana, so I pulled out the Glock. You should have seen his face when he saw the Glock. I had enough so I robbed the whole table. Run your shit or I'll can you like Abel. Someone said I don't speak English. Motherfucker, you just said that in English. They call me the Mahjong banger, cause I see a rich girl and I wanna bang her. I had an op named Tachibana. I kicked out his legs, now his name is just Bana.
This beat was not made by
Yo, Yo, you ready for this? I'm about to go in on this beat. Hey. Yo. Look. I'm about to go in on this. I went to Costco. The fuck?
Alright, I think that's good enough for mesh for now. So now I want to bind it to the armature. So press this, I think it's this. Let's see, armature deform, and you can try to like keep the weights and stuff. I think you do that by, let's see. There we go, and then you grab the command mesh, grab this one, go into weight paint, weights, transfer weights, things like that, question mark. And if we hide this one and we go into here, we check this one, and yeah. Okay, look at that actually, holy shit. That could be a lot worse. And I'm sure I'm assuming you know how to weight paint. It is a stick. Okay, there's nothing here, that's weird. A lot here. Like that maybe? Sure, why not? Alright. The guns are gonna be an issue, I think. But you'll have to see that out yourself, because I can't figure that out. So yeah, let's just actually include this in the whole stuff. Have I parented this yet? Let's just see. Look at that. No issues whatsoever. Amazing. Yeah, sure. And nothing not fixed. Okay, good. Now these ones are always some weird like reason fuck ass. Let's see. I find the best way to do this so far has been to just gun R, okay. Control C. Go into gun mesh. Gun mesh, vertex groups, and we just add manually gun R, and then we weight paint mode, and we just say all of you to gun R. Sure. At least then we'll know if it's like even remotely working or not, unless it's gun left here. Gun left, weight paint, bam. Okay. Now we have our little guy. Now we need to export him. I think I haven't been paying close attention to this. Hello. There we go. And now we've selected all of these ones. Good. File, export, FBX, and we do armature and mesh, selected objects, FBX all, don't apply unit, don't apply animation, And now we just gotta I'm gonna call this let's just say it as well. There we go. And actually I'm gonna rename the commander example one to .001 just for consistency. There we go. And that should be that. And then we can open Unity, new project 2021.3.33f1. Yep. And I've got all of this already. Great project, and it's gonna build for a while, so just wait. Oh yeah, while this is building, I just remembered. There's all the UVs and stuff as well. Yeah, let's just say this again. And export it again. There we go. Same settings. Just we're gonna name them 1 and 2. This is gonna happen 1,000 times. Yep. Goodbye. And I just wanna see what happens when you don't apply the mirror, because I'm curious. Let's see. Create a. Oh yeah, I haven't actually added the things yet. Whoops. So is it? Where is it again? Window. There, I think. All right, it is. So we just grab the link from the document. So here you can see. Actually, I'm just gonna, just in case, I'm gonna restart the project, because you never know. Oh, that was quick. Create, let's go, material, standard, fake aura, hope games, deferred, standard. There we go. And then we get the image as well. There it is, and now it recognizes for the skin as well. And we just throw it in here on the base RGB, and honestly that should be correct. Let's enable dithering, there we go. And now we can just, yeah, now the material is on the model and it works perfectly fine. The guns are gonna be an interesting thing, I think, that we'll see. Yeah, that's the resort. Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go. There we go. Command example 1 skin here. We do a skin mod info. And now I actually don't know why we do this in a second folder. I have never tried doing it not in a second folder. But oh well. So skin definition here. What is the meaning of that? Why are they called EX1? Oh, it's because I named it that. I'm stupid. Alright, here's the commando. It's skin info, mod name. Sure, that's the mod name, author. That's the version 1.0. Sure, I don't know. Nothing here yet. Okay, so in the definition, and there's not going to be a mod dependency for this one, so we're just going to ignore that. Body name. This is where we once again get the so this should be the what the this should be the same for both the versions, the old one and the current one. So I mean the Blender script one, Blender script survivor render indexes. This one is just formatted better. And we have to sometimes you have to kind of guess, like I think Croco might be, well, you know, the guy, the spitter. And mage, for example, is artificer. Commando body. So commando body, that's the body name. Body name, commando body. Sure. Full name, token language, EN for English, value. Icon. Should we do an icon or not? You can just do it from colors. Otherwise, you literally just like add a sprite here, kind of thing. You have to use make it into a sprite. I must just show this to. There we go. Let's see. That's the copy. Yep. So here currently it's in default. You just go to sprite 2D and UI like that. Oh yeah, you gotta like just so I show how this is. What the fuck? Okay, you know what? Oh, it's yeah. Okay, sure, whatever. Wait, yeah. Now we're on texture 1, sprites 2D and UI, and then you apply there. This is just 2D still. So now this is a sprite. And skin definition, sprite, there it is. Otherwise you can just click this and then you make like a out of colors, you know, like the images are in the game. Let's just pick the sprite, it's quicker. There we go. Unlockable name, ignore that if you don't want to have achievement. I don't know how the achievement works for it, so I must ignore it. Base skins, this is a part I'm not always sure about. This is what will be used as default, I think. I'm not sure entirely. This is like, ask somebody else. When you're not giving it any information. So, for example, we can look at... Where did that? Oh, there it is. The command has a lot of things here. Swing trail, gun mesh. I'm just gonna check something quickly. Yeah, I must be making a loader skin and that's just these three. There's nothing else. So that wasn't really an issue. But there might be an issue here. So let's try making it without the what's it called? The base skin first and see what happens. I think it might just not give us all these things. Like I might be missing stuff. But just test it out for now. So what we're gonna care about here is rendering from mesh replacements. These other ones are more advanced that I don't know about. I want to know about this one, but I haven't learned yet. So mesh replacements, let's see. We're replacing, well, we aren't really replacing the guns. We're really just replacing the main mesh. So let's look at the main mesh. That's not the correct one. That's so. Commando mesh, unit engine skinned mesh render. All of these skin mesh renders are ones you can replace with this version. I don't know what this means. That is just mesh render for the guns. Oh well. We'll see. So commando mesh, open and by name command mesh, and the mesh you're gonna give it is, okay, actually that's the most annoying thing. Locking you resources, and you want to give it these on the end, not these ones, these ones. So the mesh for this one is just whatever it's called, the cube, and the render info is the same ish. You give it by name command mesh, and the material is gonna be this material, and I'm not gonna put to ignore overlays because that's like the shields and stuff on it, so we don't set that. And that's all for this one, I think. So just go to the info and then we build. No, we add the skin first. There we go, the skin definition. So info and then the definition. Build, let's see what happens. Yeah, bunch of errors, but it's still built, so that's fine. So, a quick acknowledgement for the future of the video. When I'm gonna cut between, when I start moving things around in files, what I'm doing, I'm gonna show it now with like an edited version, is it opens up like a build window. I grab the file and I just drag it into the plugins folder for Risk of Rain 2, and then I open the R2 mod menu and start modded here. That's all I do, but it says like a bunch of like doxing info on the folders and shit here, so I just cut that out and it'll just go to when the game is started. But that's all I'm doing every time it cuts like that, so you don't have to wonder what like part of the guide I removed there. It's just to make it easier for me when I'm editing it, because I don't want to go through and like manually blur out all of the folder names and stuff. So that's just what I'm doing. In general, whenever there's like a big black square or something, or there's like a cut or big blurring, that's just me removing the like personal information from the folders. Single player commando, it did not work. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, I think the literal issue was that we had a smiley in the author name. Is that really it? If I do this again, let's see, we build it, yeah, okay. So do not use special characters in the author name, and just in general, for any naming. I'm gonna get to this later as well. But no special characters. No fun allowed, okay? Yeah. Anyways, just don't use any special characters anywhere. Let's just pick it in the game. Let's see if it works. Did I use the body? It appears so. Alright, now that we know this works, let's add some more potential issues to this. Can I get the guns to work? FBX, sure, number 4, and it saves them, so it should be the correct ones, yep. I'm just gonna delete this, bye-bye, and number 4. And the guns are here now. Peter, the guns are here. Missing mesh because we removed it. Cube. So now we're adding 2 more elements and we're calling them gun mesh and gun mesh dot 001. So, oh, wait, yep, and, oh. This one is gun mesh, and this one is gun mesh. 001, and now we're gonna add materials here. So if we, this is how you can do it, by the way, if you want, if there's like a skin that you need the body included for something. For example, I think Huntress has some stuff that's like, well, Huntress is really fucked in general with the bow, so I'm not even gonna say anything. I don't know exactly. Like all the effects I think are on the base skin thing there. So if you, let's say you don't want one of the guns, you would just include it here and like call for it to be replaced and then not include a mesh. So let's do that to see how this works. And nothing, and this commando material, let's just see. Okay, this is what it looks like. So it will, if the guns are included but they don't feel like this, then something fucked up. And only one gun should be included. Build. Okay, so good news, the gun is here, and it looks like only one gun is here. Bad news, it's on the wrong place. How to solve this is like, I don't fucking know, man. The weapons are really weird. It's even mentioned the get they're weird. I haven't really gotten it to work that well. So I'm just gonna say you're gonna have to solve that yourself. Sorry. Why is it so weird there on the texture? Oh well. We can at least, we know that we can replace one of the guns and have the other one not be there. So now we know that works. So what you're gonna have to do is just like move the gun around probably. In the, oh nice. Hell yeah. Thank you for the unicorn. To move it around a bit when editing in Blender. Like we could test this right now, I guess. So we remember roughly where the gun was, right? If we go in here and we just move this up a bunch, maybe like that, and see if they changed anything. So delete you, bye bye. Delete you. There you go. And if we now, yeah, that's gun mesh, correct. So we'll do the exact same thing again. Cube, and then gun mesh on you. And that should be like the, yeah, and the gun did look like that, so it's correct. And let's, no, let's not. Is that all? Yeah. Okay, let's build again. You'll be doing this a lot. Just exporting, importing over and over and over and over and over again. I think there's, like you can import animations from the game, I think, to Blender, so you can like check weight paints and stuff without having to put it in the game. I don't know how to do that. I wish I knew how to do that, but I haven't bothered to look it up. But then you could like theoretically run the animation in Blender and see what it looks like when you're in game, because without going in game, because it takes so fucking long to repeatedly do that, especially when you have dynamic bones. I'm not sure how that would work with the, because I know the gun is over here at least. So the gun has changed position. Let's see if it does works in game. Yeah. So you can, just by changing it in edit mode in Blender, you can move the gun around. So just like, I think it said something in the document about like move it to the hand. So well, let's just see what happens if we do that. So now it's in the hand. I wonder if this is gonna, because I might just be also accidentally like assuming this is the gun to the right, but it's not. That's a possibility. It might just be that I'm incorrectly assuming the hand. It might be to switch hands. I mean, almost. It's the wrong direction. Let's just I have not used this weapon for a while. Just look at the, yeah. So for the, oh my god, the item positions, you can look at it here on the shoulder. It's gonna be placed as if it was the old mesh. I'm guessing it's the armature it follows. Do not under any circumstance move around the original armature, ever. It apparently fucks like everything up. So there's supposedly some other mod to fix positions. Like if, for example, loader has like the massive cage around the suit. If you have a skin for load, which I have, which doesn't have that cage, half the item just floating in there. But yeah, you have to figure that out by yourself, unfortunately, because I don't know how. So now that we have this working, let's add some dynamic bones. Let's go back to Blender, and I don't know what we should make dynamic, like the jets maybe. So we're picking an appropriate bone, like the chest bone, the head bone. I'm thinking the chest bone probably. So we extrude. Oh, let's not do it like that. We extrude from here. Oh, there's two of them, that's true. So like this. And if you need to ever like, so this one is currently like attached like that. If you want to move it in a way where it's not attached like that, Alt P, you can disconnect the bone, and now it's connected. This is just like basic Blender stuff. I didn't know this when I started, so in case you don't know either. That was very new to Blender. Let's just move it in like a way that feels appropriate. Sure. Why not? We could have kept it attached, but whatever. And now we named it something like that's easy to find, and that doesn't include a period or anything, like no funny business. So I'm gonna call this Jets Base, sure. And then we're gonna extrude from the Jets Base. Actually, let's do it like this. And then we move you, and then we rotate you, like... That looks correct. And... Yet space... Left. This one can be named anything, unless, so as long as you're not going to be referring to it within like the unit setup, it's going to be fine. So if it's like a part of a chain, the period is going to be fine. If it's not part of a chain, like you're going to be ever calling to it, like, oh, I'm going to use it as like a root for something. Just don't have it as a 001, like a period in the name. At least I think that's an issue. So let's just place it that looks good. Like here, we don't have a lot of mesh here, that's a problem. Let's... here's one bone. We're gonna want to keep it like... just make it look reasonable. I can't bother to make it too good. Like this maybe? Sure, 3 bones is probably overkill, but whatever. I don't know what is good or not for bones. I'm not so good at this stuff. So now that we'll name these are named left like this, we can just symmetrize. This is, you might be able to symmetrize the weights and stuff. I've had a bunch of problem with this for weight painting. I have to like double paint it, it's really annoying, but that's the easiest way I found to make this work like that. So I just double paint it. Yet base right. Yep, that is correct. And this one is... oh, I shouldn't have named it yet base. Okay, we go back to before I symmetrize that at least. There we go. And we just rename this to Jets and not base. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having any Jets base, but they're not the base, so let's try to keep some consistency. There we go. That is correct. And now we go into object to weight paint mode, and we have to paint this now. See if we can do this in a simple... oh yeah, actually this is the easiest way. We just, in edit mode, see if we can select like... yeah, that should hide them. Then we select these, with L, hide them. Then Alt H, Control H, hide that. And now we only have this, which makes it so much easier. So in weight paint now we can just go, whoop. Oh wait. Oh yeah, because that's part of, do I care about that? Why won't that work? Why is this like that? Oh, it's another stomach. No, it's probably head, right? Head, no. Pelvis, no. What the fuck? Oh, it's the upper arm. Yeah, there it is. So that's why we keep the different menu. So you just gotta go through. Oops. Actually, why am I doing it like this? I just had a way to do this faster. Oops. There we go. And now there should be, if we check, oh, why? Oh. There we go. Now there's nothing here. It's of course fine to keep some weight paint on here from other things. Like I think it should be really reasonable to have like, oh I have, actually let's keep some for now. Let's like have just a little bit of influence from the chest here to I don't know, keep it within line. Sure, like that, I don't know. And upper arm, left side is this side, so that would also logic like do a little bit of influence, I think, like that probably. This is just entirely. I am very bad at white painting though, so you're probably better than me at this. Anyway, and now we need to white paint the new pieces, which are not here, which we solve by going there, there. How was it again? Was it? Okay, I gotta remember the order. With yeah, so the mesh, the armature, Control P with empty groups. So now we're gonna have these new groups here. Perfect. There's two ways you can do this. You can of course also done this without this being the yet space. You can have like a yet space left, yet space right, and then have these entirely separate from each other. But just make it quicker, I didn't do that. So white paint. Sure, and let's just double check now that if we were to return to this one and go into post mode, this should like move all of those. Yep, so nothing has not been painted. You can see that moving these parts. Why are you? Oh yeah, because this line. This is the problem with like having no mesh, like no topology, because this line here interacts with this. It looks weird, but that's fine. We don't care right now. Okay, now this is the model is ready. It should be. So we do the exact same thing as usual. Let's save this as commander example, dynamic bones. There we go. And then we export it the exact same way as usual. So FBX and dynamic bones 1, there we go. And the settings are correct, yep, export. Now I go back to Blender. No, I'm in Unity. So we need to import some more packages now. There's two we're going to import. I am using the dynamic skins tutorial here from RuneFox, but I am not using exactly this these two packages. I'm using one of the packages. Which one is the one I'm... Is it specifically this one? That's the forked one. Yeah, so you can go to Instax Forks, and here we have this one by Moy again, and that's the person on Discord. That's why I'm using it partly. They said something about there was some fix. I don't actually know what this specific one does, but it works, so I'm using it. But there was apparently some fix they did. So we're gonna do... Yeah, the dynamic skins, this one is gonna be the Moy one. So Unity, let's just copy the first one before I open here so it's easier. Where are these in... What the fuck? Oh. There we go. Skin Builder extension is just this one. That's the one we're gonna use. So it's window, right? Yeah. Package Manager from GTRL. Yeah, add. It's installing that one. Perfect. And yep. And then we're gonna go back here and we're gonna grab this one, except we're gonna do, let's see, so this is the github.com runefox dynamic skins.git. This one is the exact same one, except it's Moy. So we're gonna grab that one, tutorial.git, and just git. I just write that there. And it's building and stuff. And now we go, they're built now. So the guide then says to yeah, protect things, to set this to .NET 4x. You might have a different thing, like a Windows or something, I don't know. I don't have the .4x in my as a thing here for my project, so I just use the .NET framework instead of, because the one we shouldn't use was 2.0 and I have 2.1, so I'm choosing not 2.1. This was checked in earlier by default. As part of the troubleshooting, I probably edited out from the original version of the skin. I did switch this to framework. I don't think that's needed for just that version, but it does work with the framework. So if something is broken, you can test switching that on the first version. I don't know. But you switch that API compatibility level, and it's import settings player, and you scroll down until you like find the API compatibility level, and it's a star there. And switch to .NET framework or .NET 4.0, I guess, if you have that. So we can once again delete this guy for like the 100th time. And now we can throw in our dynamic parts example. So here they are, boof. And as per you, that's the wrong one. Here we go. So this is going to be kind of similar. We already have these built, and what is important to remember is that when you do this, first of all, you should try making a normal skin first. It makes sense that you'll have less things to troubleshoot when something goes wrong. But let's say you haven't done this yet. This part, you did this now. You should, even if, because this is not gonna work in game, I don't think, because this has all the wrong bones. You're gonna build this anyway. This is probably gonna be broken in game. So yeah, we can actually let's test it in game to see what happens. And yeah, see, it's all fucked up now. Like the armature is wrong somewhere, so it doesn't know where to put it. The gun is still there though. I wonder what it looks like in game. Yeah, like only the gun is here. Another question. What happens if I get an item? I'm sorry, I'm just experimenting right now. It still knows where to put the item, that's cool. But the mesh is fucked. That's fine. So we needed to build that first anyways to have this like exist. And now we're gonna create, like say we'll place this guy here, we just drag it in here. We're gonna prefab, unpack completely. And we're gonna open the armature and we're gonna find the jet space here. We're dragging this in here. Now created a prefab. And on this thing, not on this thing, on this thing. Oh, oops. What the fuck? How do I? Okay. So we're on this thing here. We add a component, we add a dynamic bone. And the transform here should be this one, because it's the roots of the bone. I think you can just, if you, oh, that's the wrong one. Oh wait, no, if you just do this, I'm stupid. You could use any in the hierarchy for the transform. You could maybe even use, yeah, maybe you could even use that. But like, why? Make it work for yourself. So that's the jet space transform. And if you check to this one, it has no dynamic bone. Now we're gonna make a couple of empty objects here. So commando example, is that what it's called? I gotta remember what it's called first. Oh, it's Skin Builder extension. Oops, let's just rename this then. Next. Skin Builder extension and mod info. So this is where you need the commando here, because you need the mod info there. And then you, oops, let's just, I'm not gonna need this anymore, so we're gonna do this instead. Actually no, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create another empty as a child here, We're calling this one the commando ex. Is this the what was called maybe? Dynamic skin info. No. What? Oh no, then this is correct. Wait, skin build extension. And this one is called dynamic skin info. So we add the mod info again here. And we... Yeah, exactly. Now I'm remembering. So here we go, skin definition. So this is the skin info, skin definition, which are skin info, skin definition, okay? It's the ones we've been like working with until now. So I'm gonna grab this one, I'm just gonna lock it because we'll be using this one. This one is the skin build extension. Now that we've created this one, we can, here in extensions, add this one. And now I'm back on this one again. So we're only going to have one modification this time. We're going to have one modification for each like root dynamic bone. So there's like 7 bones in total, I think, because there's one base and then 3 on each side. We just need one because we just have one base. If you were to add, I don't know, like massive naturals or something, you'd have maybe 1 root for those, or 2 if you're going crazy, or 3, I don't know. Then you'd add more, of course, but now we only need 1. So for the skin definition here, the prefab, important, pick assets and the jet space. So there is a difference here between the item that's here and the item that's here. So if we do this, this is this one, and this one has the bone on it, and it's in the hierarchy. This can get a bit weird. I've been experimenting with having bones attached to each other, like dynamic bones attached to each other, and it kind of works, but I haven't come to work yet. So I would just recommend you instead use the distribution curves. I don't know how the curves work at all, which is why I'm not doing it. But anyway, you're probably not going to do it anyway, so let's keep going. We're back here on the dynamic skin info here. We picked the prefab. The dynamic bone is this one, so we drag this one here, and the parent bone is where it's attached. So that's the chest bone. You can pick, this is when it gets a bit funky with the attachment. You can pick another bone for the parent bone, and that's the bone that it will follow. So if we picked like an arm, it would follow the movement of the arm as if that was the parent. And then affects base mesh, because there's 2 versions here. I'm only going to explain the one because I've only used the one. It's the internal modifications, which is an attach, like you basically extend the mesh itself, and you have bones on the original armature. Or the external modification, which is you have a entirely new mesh and like a new armature. I don't know how to do the second one. I'm sure you can just follow the guide in the same way and it should work, but I haven't tried it. So when you do an internal modification, which is what we're doing, it has to be in here, and it affects the base mesh, so you check that one. And then if you were to add more, like if you had more bones, you just click here. This is also important. This add here, don't add here unless it's a different skin. This is the one for the same character. How these skins work, I might as well just add. You can have multiple skins here. So you have one skin here. You can have one skin, one info for multiple definitions. So the info is like the collector. So if you had like 5 skins, you could put them all in one info and then have all of them here, like you added more skins. And then here then, for this part, you would need, you could do the same thing here kind of. So you have one mod info for the entire like mod itself, And if you wanted to add more skins here, you would then add like the new skin definition for the new skins. So you would do all of the dynamic bones in the same package for the same mod, which I think could get messy, but oh well, good luck. Anyways, now we have the only the one dynamic bone we want to use. So we build, and this is gonna give us an error. This might be fine. Let's just build here as well. That was not fine. Have we forgotten something? Oh no, so that's the wrong build. That explains why it's not working. We should go to this one and build. Okay, we got 5 more errors. So the 5 errors are kind of what I expect to happen. All of these are because this one was built earlier. So the order of building should be let's just pick this window so that's not locked. First you build the commando dynamic, well the dynamic skin info, build that one. See, that's restart now. Yep, and I think the first time you build it, it might give an error because it doesn't have like a base to go to, but it should still work. And then you build the skin builder extension. Wait, I was checking that one, yeah. Build. Okay, now that one's built. And now we go in here to the original skin definition. No, skin info for the original skin. And here in additional resources, it should have added the prefab, I think it is. It is difficult to say if it's a prefab or not, but oh well. It should add it automatically. And if it's not there, you have to find it and add it yourself. But it's the Jets base it added, which I think is this one and not that one, but I'm not sure. But no, I'm pretty sure it's this one. What I usually do when I make changes is I just remove this one, because then when you go back here and you build this one, let's see, now it's built again, it adds it back automatically. But then I also usually just be safe, build this one again. Now they're built, and now we build the original skin mod info. Okay, and it's been built. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, this guy's in game. We can't really see it, but it's behind him. Maybe we should have picked something better. And when you look at that, they're jiggling. Very dynamic bones. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Now maybe you want them to be less jiggly. Let's say that as an example. You go to the one in the hierarchy, and this on the dynamic bone, this is where you do all of the settings for the bone. You can just play around here by yourself, figure stuff out. I don't know how the colliders work, quite. I haven't figured that out yet. But I think they do work, but I'm not sure how. Gravity. This goes by world coordinates. So Y is down. I tried earlier on a character to have like a cape thing to avoid it going into the body too much. I tried to make the gravity like down into the back. That doesn't work. It goes to like the world on the level X and Z coordinates. So it will always point in like that direction in the world. So when you turn around, it's going to be pointing weirdly. But if you want gravity, you do it here, and then you can do like damping, elasticity, stiffness, inertia. You'll have to just mess around a bunch of these. I think inertia is kind of funny to do sometimes, because it's going to make it look weird. Once you've done a change here, let's say we make it more stiff, more elastic, a bit more damping, and we add some inertia. Sure. You will have to rebuild it from here. I usually, just to be sure, remove this. You know, I don't think you have to do that, but I do it anyways, to be sure. You build here. and then you build here. If you don't do this, then it doesn't actually, like the changes doesn't go through. So you need to rebuild those. You can't just rebuild this again. And let's go ahead and see. And you can see it's much more stiff now. And I might have made it too stiff, so it might be difficult to see, but I think the inertia should be like stretching it a bit extra when we're going fast. But I don't know. Just play around the settings a bunch. It takes a lot of tweaking to figure out how to make it. And you're probably gonna have to, at a bunch of times, like you realize the weight painting is off, or you wanna change some bone position, or you wanna like add or change bones in general. You will have to, like when you go back to Blender, at least what I do is, like I do my changes, I export again, and then I delete like both the mesh, the prefab, and this entire thing, and then I reset, like reset there, and I reset here, and then I remove, I set this on 0 like that. I don't know if that's what you have to do every time, but just to be sure that there's nothing that's like left over, I do that, which means you will have to re-add all of these, which is super fucking annoying when you have like 15 of them, but that's just life, I guess. So that should be how to make a skin and add dynamic bones. Hopefully this helps. I'm not sure. I'll have to edit a bunch. Maybe I'll do like a acknowledgement now that I can just edit it later. But yeah, thank you for the, thank you and you're welcome, I guess. This is probably just going to be like a private video, so no call to action for anybody. Good luck. Ask people on the Discord if you need more help. This is unfortunately like the end of my knowledge on this. I am very new to this. I started like a month ago, so I am not like a good authority on this at all. So you can always try asking me, but I'm not gonna know most of the things. I am just kind of guessing as I'm going. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm just gonna say that. Goodbye.